All right, folks, here we are, 395 build. We're gonna do the first test run. Just to remind you, this was a full rebuild, heavily used logging, possibly a milling saw, don't really know. Needed a terrible amount of work. There were a lot of the parts were salvageable, especially the carburetor, so we did not put a carburetor kit. We did not rebuild it or replace the carburetor. So we're going to see how she fires up here, virgin test run, and then we will check the RPMs. So the idle RPMs and the overmax or overspeed max RPMs are the same as the 288 and 281. So it's 2,500 RPMs on the idle and 12,500 on the overspeed. And since this has a complete rebuild, you want to break this saw in at about 500 to 700 RPMs below max overspeed specification for at least the first few tanks, if not upwards of a full 10 tanks, till you get this feel you have the saw broken in. Also, not a bad idea to maybe run it at a slightly richer oil mixture for the first few tanks as well, but generally speaking, if you're using a really good FD rated oil like Husqvarna XP Plus, then you should be able to get by just fine with 45 or even 50 to 1 without any issues. It's very excellent oil. So at any rate, I'll get you set up on a tripod here and we'll see if we can get this turned over and tuned and see how well this rebuild is going to run. Okay, first we're going to cycle it without starting, kind of charge the machine. Usually it'll start better. Choke is on. Wow, you can't beat that. RPMs, and after we have that set, I will move the saw from side to side and do a dump test to see if it stays idling fine. So far, this is an awesome result for the first test run. RPMs. It's set perfect. I've hardly had to do anything to this carburetor, so the 4-year-old carburetor is working just great. Now we'll do a little dump testing. See, it did change idle a little bit when I put the saw over on the ignition side. I do not believe there's an air leak. That could be carburetor, could be the idle setting. I'm going to try boosting the idle just a hair and see if I get the same result when I dump the saw. After the saw had warmed up, it started idling a little lower, so boosting it back up, I'm getting it at around 2,700 RPMs on the low end. Not having any issues with it dying when I do the dump. Retested the high RPMs, still sitting at around 11,700. And if you heard there at the high end, it wants to gurgle a little, or what we call four-stroking. And that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to see when you're at overspeed. So we're in a good position here to start feeding wood into this saw. Beautiful 395 XP. And boy, she sounds good with that dual ported muffler, eh? All right, hope you enjoyed that. Bowman out.